loves, welcome to my channel. So since this is my first video on here, I'm going to give you a quick introduction of myself as well as a introduction to the type of content that I'm going to plan on putting out. So my name is Arden Rain. I'm currently a college student. I plan on putting out videos that are more related to the makeup community as well as some life videos and some blogging videos. So thanks for clicking on this video. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I plan on putting out more videos like this one. So thanks for watching. So for today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Sweet Peach Glow palette by Too Faced. It comes in their Sweet Peach collection and retails online for $42. Jumping right into the palette, as you can see, this isn't a first impression video. I've used it quite a lot, and you can see by the mirror as well as the fallout that it's definitely gotten some used to it. In this palette, it comes with a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. The first thing that I noticed about this palette is that the shades aren't quite pigmented. As you can see, the packaging obviously is beautiful. It's Too Faced and the packaging is always beautiful. But one thing that they've definitely gotten complaints about a lot is the fact that the packaging is beautiful, but the product not so much. Jumping right into the bronzer shade, you can kind of see that it doesn't really show up on my skin. See, like here's like a quick little swatch and it's like barely there. And my skin is definitely more on the pale side and stuff usually shows up really well. So the fact that this bronzer shade doesn't show up, it's kind of an issue for me, especially for the fact that for people like my girlfriend, it's definitely not going to show up on them at all. Going into this blush shade, this is the bigger shade out of the two other ones, and I've been using it for about a month or so, and as you can see by the bronzer shade and the highlight shade, like it's obviously, you can see the brush strokes in the palette. Versus this one, you can't like tell that I've done anything to it, which is like which kind of shows that I've been having like a hard time really getting any pigment out of this thing. So quick little swatch for you here on my arm. See, like it's barely there, and that's like definitely an issue for me, considering it's a blush shade and the fact that this palette in general is $42. I definitely feel like there are other blushes that you can get that give you more pigment and are definitely cheaper. My favorite thing about this palette actually is the highlight shade. I definitely am more one of those people that kind of likes a more subtle highlight as opposed to like the super like bam in your face highlight. So quick little swatch on my arm. It's right there. See, it's kind of like this subtle champagne glowy kind of highlight. So I definitely like that. And this palette definitely gives me a more natural look as far as the highlight is concerned, as well as like the blush and the bronzer. I just feel like I have to work too hard in order to get it to like actually show up on my face, which is definitely an issue. So like for example, I have these two blushes here. They said they've definitely gotten some use out of them as well. They're by Pallate. They're just like the rose powder blushes, and they're so beautiful and so pigmented, and they retail for about $7. Actually, let me go check. So these are the Pallate blushes, and they retail for $9 as opposed to $42. A quick swatch for you right here. As you can see, it shows up quite a lot, especially compared to these other shades. Obviously, you kind of have to be a little bit more careful because you don't want to end up looking like a clown, but I definitely like the fact that it has more pigment. It's just easier to use, it comes creamier, and it's just more worth it considering that it's $9. So this obviously isn't a dupe shade for this one, but I bet you could find a dupe shade for the Pallate blushes because they have a bunch of different colors. This shade, by the way, is Coral Cove, if anyone is wondering. So back into the palette, another thing that is a little bit concerning for me is the smell. For me, it's actually fine, but I know for other people, it's like a little bit sickening, just like the overwhelming amount of smell that there is. Like, for example, my girlfriend, like, she literally, like, wants to vomit because of the smell of this palette, because it's so intense. Now, that's not to say, like, that any of the other Too Faced products that I've had, like, are too smelly. For example, I have the Peach Perfect mattifying loose setting powder, and it actually, like, doesn't have that strong of a smell. It's kind of like a more, like, hint of pink, or peach, which is a little bit nicer than this, like, overwhelmingly strong smell of peach. Another like issue that I have with the smell is the fact that I really like this mirror because it's like really big and wide, but when I'm like doing my makeup in the morning, all I can smell is this damn peach smell, and it's just it's too much. Like, so overall, for me personally, $42, it's kind of not worth it. I mean, I do get a lot of use out of it, and I will continue using it just because, I mean, I spent $42 on it. I definitely think that if you have a darker complexion than mine, you would have a hard time getting the bronzer shade and the blush shade to show up onto your skin, which is definitely a big issue. Overall, this palette has to be a no-go for me, and that's not to say that I like hate any other Too Faced products. I definitely like them overall as a brand. It's just this, for me personally, no. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.